Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mo, and in today's video, I'm going to be wrapping up all the books that I read in January and letting y'all know some of the books that I want to read in February. I first read Parable of the Sower. This was the first in the Earthseed duology by Octavia E. Butler. I gave this one 5 stars. I next read Sula by Toni Morrison. I'm sorry, I don't know why. If you've ever watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, oh, he's my favorite. Uncle Iroh says Azula reminds me of how I've been saying Sula. Azula. I don't know. Anyway, Sula by Toni Morrison, I gave this one 4 stars. I then read Everyone's Thinking It by aleema, omotoni, and I gave it 4 stars. Lastly, in January, I read House of Elephants by claribel ortega. This was the 3rd book in the Witchling series. I gave it 4 stars. All right, so first we're gonna get into Parable of the Sower. This is a near future dystopian. It follows 15-year-old Lauren Olamina as basically her whole world collapses. Something that's important for, like, I didn't know this going in, so if you don't want to know, like, too many details, you can skip on to the next one. I will have timestamps. She has a condition called hyperempathy syndrome, which allows her to physically feel other people's pain. It touched on topics of addiction, fascism, survival. I did enjoy that this was set in her perspective. It was interesting just to hear from how people were receiving what she had to say as she was 15. By the way, she's like literally, what are they called? Not like a psychic. I don't know. That lady knew a lot. They started touching on like company towns. The president-elect was named Donner. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't really like her like love interest in this book. I don't know. If you read it, you know, but I didn't like that. We could have went without that. That's really all I want to say. I don't want to give too much of this book away. I really believe that everyone should read this book if they can. Next is Sula. This is my copy. I got this from my used bookstore a while ago. I think this is a book that I will probably want to read like every 2 years, just to see where I'm at with certain, topics and conversations. Because when I first was reading this, I was just like, oh, I never want to reread this again. Like this is a downer, but it really had me thinking, which we'll get into. This is a story centered around 2 childhood friends, Sula and Nell, and basically how their lives change as they enter adulthood. We do get other people's stories from the town sprinkled in, so we kind of just get like the town's vibe and history. The main thing that like really kept like coming into my mind when I was reading this was just like societal expectations of women, how that just affects how we move around the world. I found myself rethinking what loving someone truly means to me and what lengths will I go to for my loved ones and their like well-being. Oh, I have 2 quotes that I wanted to read. Okay, so basically this is Sula's point of view, and she's kind of like the one that's just out there and a wild child and a rebel, and she don't take no shit. She don't even keep a job for real. Like she just like people take care of her type shit. She feels bad for the people that she grew up with. She came back to her town after leaving, and she came back and all the women were just like aged and downtrodden, truthfully. Those with men had the sweetness sucked from their breath by ovens and steam kettles. Their children were like distant but exposed wounds whose aches were no less intimate because separate from their flesh. Another quote, she was talking to Nell. Nell was kind of like annoyed because she's like, okay, girl, like, you think you know everything. Like, what the you gonna say you know everything about this too, but you're lonely, like you don't have a family. She said, but ain't that lonely? And Sula said, yes, but my lonely is mine. Now your lonely is somebody else's, made by somebody else and handed to you. Ain't that something? A secondhand lonely. I'm sorry, but she was eating it. I do want to ask, if you read the book, did you like the ending? I try not to like punish books based off of how it ended, because sometimes it ends how it's supposed to, It probably would have got a higher rating if I enjoyed how we were left off with things. I just felt like things weren't really that resolved. I don't know. I think that's my own personal issues interfering, I fear. I was trying to figure out who I saw myself the most in. And at first I wanted to say Sula because I was like, oh, she's so liberated. She's so free. She's a rebel. Like she don't take no shit for real. But I think in real life, I'd have to be Nell, because like in this society that we're in, we have to work to live. We have to do certain things to live. I do think that in today's time, I think everyone should probably be like a mix of both. Like, you gotta get up and you gotta do your job. You gotta do what you gotta do, take care of what you gotta take care of. But also like little acts of rebellion don't really hurt, have a little mixture. That's all I have to say about that book. I think you should read all these books that I'm talking about today. That's just me. Okay, the next book that I read was Everyone's Thinking It by aleema, omotoni. This book is in dual POV. We're following Iyanu. She is a photographer that likes to just stay behind the scenes and behind her camera, and her cousin that will do anything pretty much to be in the spotlight. So they're completely different, and they don't really like talk at school. So some messy bitch, which I try not to call children bitches, but some messy bitch took Iyanu's camera, developed a film of like a group of people, and then just put a bunch of rumors on them and spread them around the school. No one knows who did it. They're trying to figure it out. Different pockets of people are trying to figure it out. But Iyanu and Katan were both involved. And people are pointing the finger at Iyanu because it was her camera. And she's like, I literally don't talk to y'all. Like, why the would I do that? Are y'all stupid? If you like racial tension in the academic setting, you might enjoy this, truthfully. It was very messy and it kept me on my toes. Please read it if you like. This is a boarding school. I think they're in high school. I believe Iyanu and Katan were like 16. So if you like, is that young adult or just teen? I don't know. If you like reading that age group, you might enjoy this. And then lastly, I read House of Elephants by Claribel Ortega. This was the 3rd book in the Witchling series. I believe that she said there's gonna be 5 books total. And trust and believe I will be sat. I love everything about this. We basically continue this journey with 3 young witch friends and how they overcome difficult things together that are in their way through the power that is the power and the magic, actually, of friendship. Like the color palette and just like the vibes, it reminds me of when I used to watch My Little Pony back in the day. Friendship is magic. Friendship is magic. This is really cutesy, but it's also morbid. Yeah, like there's discrimination and child labor, child abuse. It gets down. It don't play. If you like middle grade fantasy, I would definitely recommend. Okay, so now we're gonna get into some of the books that I want to read in February. I am currently reading Out of Body by Nia, also known as N.E. Davenport. I would like to read Allegedly and Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. These are the only 2 out of like her big 4 that I haven't read. I read Grown and I read The Weight of Blood. I love both of those. I think I gave Grown 5 and maybe Weight of Blood 4. I just want to take this time to give Tiffany D. Jackson her flowers. Every one of her books has a deep meaning or like really important social commentary. Grown, we're talking about grooming and predatory shit in the industry, preying on young girls. There's more topics than what I'm saying. The Weight of Blood, we're talking about passing, racial systems, like privilege. Allegedly, I actually don't know that much about this. I think a young girl, she is, which all of these are like with teens, I think. I think she writes the teen girl experience, the teen black girl experience. Wow. I don't think I was gonna say like, I wish these books were like there when I was in high school, but I don't think I could have handled this, like these bodies of work. Not to say like people at this age can't, but at the time to be reading these books, I don't think I was ready. I was not ready because I'm not ready now. Oh, but allegedly, I guess this girl was, said to have done something allegedly, and that's her journey through it. And apparently there's a really big twist at the end. And I feel like me knowing that there's going to be a twist is going to like maybe take it away, but a lot of people have been really shook, gooped and gagged. And I'm really ready for that. And then Monday's Not Coming. I do know that this is like, the main topic is Black girls going missing and people not looking for them. This girl named Monday goes missing and her friend is looking for her, and like no one even notices that she's missing at school, at home. And I'm wondering if maybe, this is like way premature, but I'm wondering if it was all in the girl's head, like she never had that friend. I don't know. It's reminded me of something else that I read that I was thinking that same theory, and it didn't end up being that way, so whatever. And then lastly, I don't know that I'll actually get to this because I don't know if I'm in the mood. But Earthseed number 2, this is Parable of the Talents by Octavia E. Butler. I'm assuming that it's just going to continue on from the message of Parable of the Sower and like this community that Lauren has built. I would like to get to it. Not sure. But yeah, that's it. Thank y'all so much for watching till the end. If you did, I would like y'all to put this emoji on the screen. Yeah, I don't always remember to do that, but I love when YouTubers do that. If y'all don't want to do the emoji, I do want y'all to comment what your favorite book of January was and what you're excited to read for February, or what you really didn't enjoy in January. I do want to hear that. Thank y'all as always for watching my video. I hope that y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.